So Instagram has released a brand new size, and the reason you want to care about it is because it seems to be getting a little bit more traction than usual. The reason for this, I believe, is because it is just shocking. If you haven't seen it yet, it is a really, really skinny, ultra wide size that just looks so different from everything else that Instagram has been pushing, because for the last few years, they've been telling us to do quite tall posts, like full screen vertical things, and now they've just out of the blue introduced this wide post. And because of that difference, because it feels so different than what we're used to, it stops us. It stops your audience in that scroll being like, that's a bit different than what I'm seeing every other moment of every day. This size has only been out for less than 2 weeks at the time of recording this video, and I want to make sure that you know how to do it and make it inside Canva so that you can take advantage of this trend, because it probably will get old very quickly. And so the time to jump on the bandwagon is now. And thankfully, this is really quite straightforward to make on Canva. So I'm going to show you all of the ins and outs on how to do that in today's tutorial. So hello, if we have not met before, it is a pleasure to have you here. My name is Jackie, and I am a graphic designer who is obsessed with helping everyday business owners make their own incredible branding and graphics in programs just like Canva. Now, if you have been here for a long time, you'll notice I'm in a brand new office. I've just moved in here like this yesterday. And so I'm still setting things up. This is not the final setup, but it is enough to get this video recorded so that you can get it in your hot little hands and start to utilize this trend. So let us dive in. Before I show you actually designing, I want to just open up my phone and show you what I'm talking about inside Canva so that you can see the ins and outs of how this works and how it's going to view up for your clients. Because if you are designing anything, but you are not thinking about the final output, you are not going to be able to design anything that's going to work long term. So when I open up my phone, and we're going to take a look-see together. So I'm inside my Instagram right now, and you'll see this post on the right-hand side, that one I'm kind of tapping on. This is our wide post. Now, firstly, you're going to see that it does not look amazing without a real cover on it. It is really, really cropped. So if I click on this, you'll see what it is. It's literally that thing at the top here. It's this, like that is it. That is how short and stumpy this little post is, but it is very different, and that's why it's stopping the scroll. And so I want to show you my insights into this post so that you can see how it's performed differently than usual for me. So if I click on the view insights, you'll see here that we've had quite a few shares and saves. Now, obviously I'm doing a bit of teaching in this reel. I am telling you how to do this kind of post, or at least telling you that it exists. And you can see down here, if you look at the views over time, you can see it is a lot higher than my standard reel. Now, I know people that have posted this size and got zero traction, so this isn't to say that's a magic size, but I think there is something to say that if I had posted a normal reel on this, it wouldn't have gotten the traction that it did get because of that shock factor. And so I think it's worth giving this a go, whether you find it succeeds for you or not. A lot of business is honestly about trying and trialing new things and seeing what works. So that's what I want you to do with this. And I'm going to give you a template so that you can actually use this quite quickly and easily. Pop it up, see if it works, experiment, and then either ditch it or keep on bringing it in as a regular part of your content. So I've saved a couple of different reels, and you can actually see them pretty much all on this one screen because that's how tiny they are. This one here in the middle here, The Wonders of the Earth, is a nice one. It just kind of shows you through a few different videos. It kind of fades between them, and it has quite a cinematic sound effect to it. And so that's an interesting one to kind of just showcase footage. If you are going to use any footage, I recommend recording that footage originally in landscape so that your videos are already kind of heading towards the right direction. If you're recording a lot of your things in portrait, it's going to be cropping out a lot of that to get to this size. So if you're going to record a video just for this, I recommend recording in landscape. That way you've got a lot less to crop out later on. Another option here you'll see is that she's got 3 videos at once, kind of next to each other, which is a great way to kind of manage it. If you don't have any wide videos of yourself, you can always put 3 next to each other, and that creates a whole extra look too. And she's got text typing on top of the screen, which I'm going to show you how to do. And so pretty much she's just going through, and she's added in some videos at the start and some videos during it to kind of bring people through on a more tutorial-esque style. And lastly, down the bottom here, I've got the what font is this, and again, you've got like a video, more of a photo actually, and she's just put text in on top, and she just animated that kind of text right inside Canva, it seems. All that's definitely Canva. And so this is also possible for you to do. So I show you that so that you can get some inspiration of the kind of thing you want to do. So to make this design in Canva, just hit create, and you want to create a new size. Now you're going to toggle down to this custom size option on the left-hand panel. Click custom size, and you can type in whatever dimensions you want for your particular design. So I'm going to type in here 5120 pixels wide and then 1080 pixels high. And you might make sure your units is set to pixels because that is the dimensions we're going to use for our post today. When you've written those in, press create new design, and it will open up this new design for you inside Canva. Now you can either do this and start from scratch, or you can access my template right in the caption below. You can just open that straight up and get to work and use the version I've already got there for you, or you can start from scratch, or you can just add pages to the template I've already set up to. If you want to make things super duper simple for yourself. So this is an example of the template that I created. I've kind of just got 2 lines of text that pop up, and this one's a bit longer than I need to kind of shorten this option. And then you've got a second line of text that pops up. And I've just added a video into the background of this. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So if you open up the template that I've shared and you're not starting from scratch like the previous example, then all of this is kind of set out in a really basic level. I love creating basic templates so that you don't have to change and revamp everything. You can just add to what I've already added here. So my option here is where you've got 2 slides and they kind of connect in together. And that way you can kind of share 2 distinct thoughts, but in a really kind of punchy way because the text is quite large and strong. So in here, potentially think through what is something that's going to capture my audience's attention. What's something that's kind of a little bit left of field? What's something that's quirky? What's something that's different? Really think about like turning on your brain to think through clever hooks. What's going to stop my audience to scroll? I'm already stopping their scroll through seeing that different format, but what's going to actually help them be interested? What's going to give them a reason to sit and watch this and to maybe go down and read my caption? So say, for example, I might do, I didn't think it would be this way. Like that's like, oh, didn't think what would be this way. Now, design-wise, I want you to consider how this is going to be displayed on Instagram. So obviously this is going to be quite small. We need to make sure our text is relatively large. So that's why this size text is really good. If you're using a different font, make sure that you change this font to your own brand font by clicking on the font option at the top here and changing it to whatever your brand font is. But I also want you to consider that some of these things are going to get cropped off a little bit. When someone is viewing this on their phone, they're actually going to have a few different things at play here. I'm just going to add in some little shapes to show you so you can think about this a little bit. So say this blue circle, this is kind of where the audio symbol is going to be. This is where there's a little button to click on that says, do you play audio or not play audio? So that's going to cover up some of your screen. What else is going to be up here is the little timestamp. So on the top right-hand corner is pretty much where your timestamp is going to be. And sometimes if you're viewing this in the Reels tab in general, it's going to have the little like heart icon and stuff on this right-hand side as well. So that might cover up some more of this. So it's really great to pretty much keep most important things out of this section here to make sure that it's not getting lost. And then just as a fun fact, you don't have to listen to this one, but if someone shares your reel to their stories, it's going to also show your business handle, your Instagram handle up here. So you might not want to put something super rich in terms of information up in this section either. So keeping your main text in here, which is where I've pretty much set it up for you, but just keeping that in mind as you design your own information. So your first slide might say, I didn't think it would be this way, and then maybe expand on that in the second part of this. So maybe things happen for a reason. You can even add in something else if you want to in here. Like I might even add in a second part of text that says see caption for why or something else. And so I'm just going to add some text in there. And so you might choose to add this in or not add this in. That's totally okay. I'm going to show you how to animate this all in a moment. But if you use my template, this is already going to be animated in terms of this original heading text. So if I click on this, you can see that this animate option is purple. That's showing you that it is already animated. So if I click on that, you can see that I've added in the typewriter effect and I've got it to say on enter and I've got it to animate per character, and I've changed the speed to I think something that's quite readable but still maintains enough interest and isn't too slow and boring that people are going to click away. Which is another thing to mention of the animation length of these pages. You don't want these to be too long. Right now they're 5 seconds. That's just so that you have some flexibility in case you write a ton of text on here. But ideally I would bring this down to, especially if you've got this amount of text, closer to 2 seconds. So to change the timing of a particular slide so that it moves between the 2 slides quick enough, you want to click on the background of the page. So click and then press this 5-second option of edit timing, and then you can bring this down. You can either toggle it down or you can click in this box here and type in 2 and then enter. And so around 2 seconds is pretty good. If you want each page to be the same, just toggle on this toggle here, and that will make sure that the second page is also 2 seconds. We can see that here now that I've clicked on it. Now, something that's going to add a lot of visual interest to this is a video. So what you can do is you can use videos from Canva's library, or you can upload your own. If you have your own great video you want to use, amazing. Just go to the uploads tab and upload that into Canva, toggle across to the video section of that and drag it straight in. I'm going to use an element because I don't have a video I want to use on this. So I'm going to go into here and I might type in maybe purple flower. And when I've typed in purple flower, I'm going to toggle across on this top area here, across to videos. That's now going to bring up videos that match the search that I'm after. So I can now scroll down here and see whatever is going to tickle my fancy. I might choose to refine my search if I work out that what I've searched for isn't exactly what I'm after, or I might choose that I'm happy with one of these. I would personally choose something that isn't too busy, otherwise your text is going to get lost. Say for example here, this one here is nice. If I drag this in, I'm going to drag it in and then let go. When you see, I'm still clicking and holding right now, but if I let go, it's going to fill it in kind of to the background here. And if I even right click on this and press replace background, it's now going to be stuck into the background. So I can't accidentally click on it all the time, which is exactly what I'd recommend. So just to repeat that for you, grab your video, click and drag and hold. And when you see it kind of fill in the background here, then let go, and then replace it. Right click and press replace background. Now, if you want to change where your video is being cropped, what section is viewed inside this little rectangle, double click on your video and you can move it up and down. So if you like the top better or the bottom better or somewhere in the middle, you can just drag it to wherever you want it to be. You can also grab your circular handles and make them larger or smaller depending on what you want to. So I might even choose to bring this over here so that I've got some nice white space over here to add in my text. Press done and then you can move things around. So I might choose to now make this text white so that it's much more visible on this purple background, and I might choose to make it a little bit smaller and bring it over here so it's not overlapping on my flower too much. Remembering I don't want to go too far over here just that it doesn't get lost or cropped out with all the real kind of settings over here. I'm going to bring that here, make this white as well. Click on the text box, click on the color, then click on the white, bring that centered underneath my text here, make that a little bit smaller because I want to make sure that this text is the main focal point. Then I'm going to go over to my previous page. I could have started on this page, but I'm working backwards here apparently. And instead of starting from scratch, I'm actually going to go to the page I originally edited, click on the background, right click and press copy, navigate to my other page. Also, by the way, if you don't see this view down the bottom where you've got page, then toggle over here down to this pages option where it says hide page thumbnails, or for you, it might say show page thumbnails. And if you click on that, it will rotate between views. So you've either got this scrolly view, or if you click on show page thumbnails, you'll see the pages view, which I find just a lot cleaner to work with. Anyway, I'm clicking on this page and I'm going to right click and press copy, navigate to the other page, right click on the background and press paste. And it's going to paste that same image in, and it's going to be already cropped in the same way as the previous page. I don't have to move anything around it. I don't have to re-click. It's just going to automatically be the same. And I'm going to change this text to being white and making it smaller again to fit in this area. I could make this over 2 lines if I wanted to, if I found that I didn't have enough space. I'm just going to change that line spacing to be a bit tighter and then make this a little bit larger. Now that I've added in that video, it's actually going to negate the timing that I previously did. So if I click on this, you'll see that the timing is now 11.7 seconds. That's because that's what the length of the video is. So if you are adding a video in, now is the time to edit the length of that. So I'm going to click on this trim button and now it'll show me how long this video is. So you can see that little flower moving in the background. It's kind of previewing that for me. I personally only still want this to be 2 seconds long. So I'm going to grab my mouse on this right-hand corner and drag this in. You can't see, but this is a purple kind of tab at the end. I'm going to drag that in and watch the little number at the top. It's now at 4 seconds, and drag that across until it's 2 seconds. Perfect. And then let go. And you'll see that it's going to show that at 2 seconds. I'm then going to hit done. And then go to my second slide. And I need to also make this 2 seconds. But if I want this slide here and this slide here to work together in terms of one flows straight into the other seamlessly, I need to make sure that this video, this background of the video, picks up from the same place that this video was. So to do that, I'm going to click on the background, click on this 11 seconds option again. And instead of dragging it from the end, I'm going to drag it from the start until it reaches that 2 second marker. So I drag this across, I can see 1.8, 1.9, 2. I'm going to let go there and then grab this and end marker again and drag this down until I see 2 seconds. No, drag this in until it's 2 seconds long, which 2 plus 2 is 4. So I'm going to drag it until it reaches about 4. And then press done. And now these 2 videos are going to flow seamlessly together. If at any point you would like to preview your video, just hit this preview button at the top. So preview right at the top, click on that, and it's going to preview your video. You can see that the text is going there and you can see that this is going there nicely. Okay, the video is kind of a bit glitchy there because of my loading time, but that isn't the actual video. It's just the fact that that was just trying to catch up, trying to buffer. I'm going to click out of that now. And what I didn't like was the C caption for Y popping up at the same time as this text here. That felt too busy. So I'm going to click on this text box and right click and press show element timing. That's going to let me control when it's going to come up. Now you could have technically done this between these 2 slides as well, between these 2 different text boxes, but I feel like it gets a bit too busy, so I personally do it this way. I'm going to right click on this. You can see this little box down the bottom that shows me that text. You can see it says C caption. So if I actually click on that and I grab these little handles, I can drag it in to say I only want this text box popping up halfway into this video or right at the end. And so I'm going to drag it down to about 1 second. And if I was to preview this video now, preview, didn't think it would be this way, but things happen for a reason. And now it pops up a little bit later, which was perfect. Now my pop animation didn't seem to be there right now. So I'm going to check. No, I had it on fade. Let's click on to pop. Beautiful. And now that could be done. I'm going to add in one more little fun effect just so that you have that option in case you want to do something. But I'm going to actually search for the word pop on here. And I'm going to scroll across into audio. I'm going to type in bubble pop and see if that makes a cool sound. All right, I've ended up searching pop-up and found this little sound. It's not ideal, but I think it kind of works. So I'm going to actually grab that and drag it into my design. And again, you can see it pop up down the bottom here. So if I actually zoom in, so I can actually drag that across so it appears when my text pop-up appears. So if I drag that across to about there, just check where this one is. Right, let's see if that works. In here, preview. And that popped up really beautifully. So I'm now going to export this because I'm really happy with how this is looking, and then add it into my Instagram. So to export it, you want to go to share, download, and then choose MP4 video format. If you can't see that, you just click on the file type drop down and choose MP4. That's going to make it into a video format for us to use on Instagram. Make sure that you have the pages selected that you have got in here. If you've got any more pages, you can select which pages you need. But for me, I want to make sure it uses both of these pages. And I am not checking download pages as separate files. If I do that, it's going to make 2 different videos for me. I want one condensed video. And then I'm going to hit download, and then I'm going to download this to my computer and send it to my phone. You could choose to send it to your phone via email, Dropbox, AirDrop, however you get that there, you can do it, or you could open up the Canva app on your mobile and download it directly there. I'm then going to press this plus button to do a new post, and and I'm going to toggle across to reel down the bottom here. So across to reel, not story, not post, just onto reel. I'm going to select that latest post that I just brought to my phone. So I'm going to press this to press tick. And then once I've got the number 1 selected, I'm going to hit next. And you see this video popping up really beautifully. Now, before I finish and press share, I will need to make sure I add some audio. Always adding audio to reels, and honestly, any post that you do is going to help it to get more traction. So I'm going to press this little plus button for the music icon down the bottom left-hand corner and choose some audio. You can choose for you, or you can toggle over to trending. It'll choose some trending audio at the moment. You can do your original audios, anything at all. I'm going to just press this one here for now. It'll preview the sound if you like it. Then press this next arrow, and it will prompt you to select which part of the song you want to do. Then press done. And you don't need to do any more editing at this point because you've already selected what editing you want to do, right? We've been doing it inside Canva. So at this point, you can just press next. And here you can choose to add a caption. So I might choose to add a caption. I always like to create value or conversation or expand on what I've shared in this reel, especially for this one where I've said see caption for more. So maybe in this reel, I would tell a story about what I didn't think would be this way, and I would bring people in. Storytelling posts always do really great. So adding that caption in, and then when you are done, add caption, you'd write that in here. Then when you're done, you can then post it. Now you can choose to press edit cover here, and you can choose to edit the cover. So right now the cover is pretty much just going to be, or it's even gone a bit more glitchy. You can press to add from camera roll, and you might choose to upload a photo. So if this was my new office, I could make that the cover of my image instead of having it kind of like this cropped weird version. So feel free to even resize your current design as a more Instagram story size, because that will be the right size for a reel cover. I won't go into that as a full tutorial now, but you can, or you can even just leave it as a thumbnail from the video itself. That's not the end of the world. And then you would press done. And when you're happy, you would just press share, and that will then share to your Instagram ready as something that people can view and hopefully get a little bit of traction for your business. Like you saw, this wasn't wildly complicated to do, so give it a whirl, give it a couple of tries, try different pieces of content, try different sorts of videos, and see how it goes for your business. And if this is feeling really fun, you're really enjoying this idea of digging into Canva and seeing how you can use it to grow your business, I would love to invite you to my free masterclass. 100% free. You can just rock up, watch it anytime on demand, and you're going to learn from me some really important design mistakes you're probably making that is impacting your credibility. You're going to learn some incredible Canva shortcuts that are going to save you absolute hours when you're using Canva. Plus, you're going to see me in real time create a design and show you how it works so you can make sure you're mimicking what I'm teaching you in your own designs. Just scan the QR code on the screen or head to the link in the description to start watching that right now for free so you can start making incredible graphics for your business that actually make you money and do not take you hours to do. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Feel free to tag me on Instagram if you use this template and try this ultra wide post on Instagram. I would love to see you. My handle is whitedeerdd. And in the meantime, I'll see you next week for another tutorial, and make sure you hit subscribe if you are not yet already. Bye.